All right, I don't know about you, but I have a good feeling about this week's podcast. All right, welcome everyone. My name is Jason, and you have turned on Superhero Deep Dive. Yay! I have a good episode scheduled for you today, and let me just get my disclaimers out, and we'll get into it. As always, this information is pulled from different sources across the internet and may or may not be completely complete, but they do give a really good insight on the current superheroes. Also, if you guys ever want to reach out to me, you are more than welcome to. My email address is b4, so b4itall at yahoo.com. You can reach me on Instagram, Twitter, and never even Twitch, but I still have it under Super Deep Dive. And you can catch me on YouTube at Superhero Deep Dive. Let's see, what else is there? Yes, if it's a Tuesday or Thursday, you can also catch me on Outworld Fleet Radio. They play my podcast throughout the day. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, it is www.un-conventional.com/radio. Okay. And as always, not just reaching out to me if you guys have any critiques, questions, comments, requests for future episodes, anything like that, you can reach out to me on all those, and I am all ears. Okay. So this week, I am talking about the Battle Chasers. You may or may not have heard of them. They're infamously famous, which is kind of a contradiction. But they're infamous for having incredibly long delays in between prints. But they're super popular back in the late 90s and early 2000s. It's kind of a Dungeons and Dragons type team. The story takes place in an arcane punk setting. So, if you watch the League of Legends Jinx or League of Legends Arcane series on Netflix, it's kind of like that. The story stars 5 main characters, including a 10-year-old girl named Gully, whose father mysteriously vanishes, leaving behind a pair of magical gloves. A rogue named Red Monica tries to enlist Garrison, who's a swordsman haunted by the death of his wife, to assist in freeing a prisoner, which Garrison turns down. Red Monica accidentally releases 4 extremely powerful villains during the breakout. Garrison overcomes his grief and joins Gully, the wizard Nolan, and the towering war golem Calibretto to stop the villains' rampages. Okay, so there's not a whole lot of information. I think this only went to like 9 or 10 issues. But I mean, you wouldn't believe at how popular this was back in the day. Let's get into the characters. The character's Garrison, who is, at the beginning of the series, Garrison is drunk in despair with the passing of his wife. He's the swordsman, kind of like barbarian class, warrior class. If you were to play D&D with him. He is a legendary swordsman and owns a powerful magical sword. Trained in swordplay by Red Monica and mentored by Aramis. Now remember that name, Aramis. From Joe's original concept sketches, who's the creator of the characters, Garrison's sword was able to open similar to the Thundercat Sword of Omens. And while Garrison possesses no supernatural abilities, he is often referred to as the greatest swordsman that ever lived. He is quite human and possesses no special ability that makes him better in a super enhanced fashion. His abilities are a direct result of his intense training with Maestro and his own abilities. Now, Garrison's sword prowess goes far beyond that of a natural fighter. With his blade, Garrison is able to defeat foes far greater in power and ability. He fights with brute force, occasionally cleaving an enemy completely in two, and often fights solely with finesse, preferring to use his sword to alter his surroundings for more favorable fighting conditions. It's hard to determine just how sharp his blade is though, because it has been seen cutting through brick walls, cutting through fallen boulders, and cleaving a lichen, like a werewolf, with armor completely in half. The blade appears to be made of steel, though it is not mentioned whether or not the sword is constructed of any kind of special element. Runic symbols run up and down the length of the blade, which may imbue it with special powers or unnatural sharpness, though this is yet to be confirmed. His legendary blade has been seen emitting powerful energies that are not explained as to how they're created, where they come from, and how powerful they actually are. His ability is activated with the hilt of the sword opening up with a series of clicks and clacks, and the creator of the character and sword said that he thought it reminded him of the Sword of Omens from Thundercats. It's used to finish his fight with the monk Brastamur, and it should be noted that Brastamur it was holding onto the sword direct contact when this ability occurred and seemed to warp the monk's mind, rendering him a useless pile on the floor. So that's pretty awesome. That's a pretty heavy sword, you know. Gully, who's character 2 in this group. Gully is a 10-year-old girl whose father, Aramis, mysteriously vanishes, leaving a powerful set of magical gloves behind. Through the series, she shares a friendship with Calibretto and Nolan. And Calibretto was the golem and Nolan was the sorcerer, while searching for her father. Gully herself possesses no supernatural powers, but she wields a powerful pair of gauntlets that imbue her with supernatural strength and durability. The gauntlets are lined with runic symbols, and each hold a red ruby circular gem in the center of the hand. Cosmic fiery energy has been seen emitted from these gems, but it is not yet determined why this happens or what triggers the reaction. Very little is known about the gauntlets, other than they had previously belonged to her father Aramis and that they had made him a hero. Her father had been in possession of the gauntlets from a young age, and it is unclear how he came to get in possession of them. So I guess Gully would maybe be like the thief kind of character? I don't know. Calibretto, who's the war golem, is an outlawed war golem with a very gentle personality. The last of his kind after all previous war golems were ordered to be destroyed. His arms can fire projectiles, and Calibretto is somehow infused with mana, creating a living, thinking construct able of intelligent thought, witty banter, and able to make decisions based on no other protocol other than what he feels is the best decision. He is simply a magical construct created by Master Dwarven crafters. It is unknown whether or not his sentience he possesses okay. I was putting information in and I apparently typed over a bunch of stuff. So it's not sure whether or not his sentience is magical based or if that's like programming. Calibretto possesses a large arsenal of highly advanced weapons capable of massive amounts of destruction. He has been seen with chain guns, miniguns, energy cannons, flamethrowers, electric captures, and releasing mechanisms with the ability to harness the power of lightning and missile launchers. It's assumed that he must be outfitted with ammunition on occasion, and that his energy projectiles deplete his mana source. Calibretto utilizes his computer processing abilities to make very accurate and intelligent decisions, and he can process information much faster than a human being, and is constantly processing information about his surrounding areas, enemies, and so forth. On top of his awesome arsenal, Calibretto can fire with extreme accuracy, using his onboard computer processor to target opposition and lock on. His visual receptors are outfitted with infrared, which allows him to track and ping enemies that are unseen or hard to detect. Some of his weapons are even outfitted with laser pointers, further increasing his accuracy to make him an extremely effective marksman. So he's obviously the archer in this group. Calibretto is equipped with booster jets that are capable of defeating gravity. I don't know why you're defeating, let's just say he's capable of defying gravity and sending the multi-ton construct airborne at high velocities. This allows him to travel great distances as well as deliver crushing blows with an accelerated boost from the blasters. It is rare to see Calibretto use his boosters, as it is sure to attract too many unwanting, inquiring eyes. But in dire situations, he can become a speedster in the skies. It has never been revealed where his fuel supply is located or how large his fuel supply is. It can be assumed that the fuel tanks are the cylindrical structures on his back or are perhaps hidden inside his massive chest cavity. So, yeah, that's kind of crazy, right? Nolan, a powerful wizard, so we got the wizard of the group, approximately 500 years old, who takes Gully under his wing. His companion is Calibretto, the war golem. There's really not a whole lot of information. He's the guy that's always there. He's wise, he's 500 years old, does magic. Alright, Red Monica, a voluptuous bounty hunter who originally trained Garrison and has an apparent history with him. She was considered to be the Jessica Rabbit of the Battle Chasers world. So picture Jessica Rabbit as a pirate, and that's Red Monica, basically. Red Monica has exhibited a physical prowess that defies her extremely voluptuous figure. She is athletically gifted and very agile, both strong and quick, with superior reflexes. She is an expert at unarmed combat as well as swordsmanship. When they were both children, she was actually better with the sword than Garrison himself, and he had to learn from her to keep up. Once Monica decided on her bounty hunting career, she trained with firearms until she rarely missed a target. She is also an expert at tracking down any quarry. She is the unquestioned leader of a band of airship pirates and commands her own airship, which affords her quick travel to nearly any destination. So she's the ranger kind of character. But yeah, so what do you guys think? What do you guys think of these characters? Like, they're pretty well rounded. You know, they give them a whole lot of power, but they don't give them a whole lot of experience. Like, it shows throughout the series that they still learn new things and discover new things about their abilities. Some fun facts. In March 2003, 20th Century Fox optioned feature rights to the fantasy comic book series with Gil Netter attached to produce. That was almost 20 years ago, though, so I don't know. It was also one of the most popular comics in the late 90s, but suffered from extreme lateness, with an average of about 6 months between issues, including a delay of 16 months for issue number 7. It took almost a year and a half between one of their issues. Like, that's crazy. That is crazy. It is unprecedented how popular this was with those kind of delays. Like, I mean, Here it is. I'm putting it all on the table. I am a huge pro wrestling fan. If there's a wrestler out for 6 months or even 16 months, when they come back, they've been forgotten about. Like, this is crazy. This is crazy. It makes no sense. What do you guys think? Could you stick with a group or a comic series or something like that over the course of a 16-month delay? I mean, I can't even keep up with a Netflix series if there's a 16-month delay. So I don't know. Let me know. Shoot me a comment, and if you're watching on YouTube, please like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Help me grow the channel. I really want to do a giveaway for you guys, but I won't do it until I hit 500 subscribers. So, help me by watching the videos. Even if you just turn it on and put it in the tab and then mute the tab or something, just let it run. Get me the watch hours. I don't care. I just think it'd be great to grow the channel into something sustainable. But also, shoot me a message on Instagram or Twitter, or don't do Twitch because I won't get it, but Twitch, under Super Deep Dive, and use the hashtag superherodeepdive. Send me an email at b4itall, so b4itall@yahoo.com. I'd love to get you guys' feedback on this. I'd love to get requests for future episodes. I have a bunch. I have 2 months worth, but that 2 months can go by fast. But yeah, I really don't know what to think of this as far as how impressed I am with the series. I'm more amazed at the sheer sustainability of it all with such huge delays between episodes. You got to think, like, their average was 6 months between issues. So, you know, there are some months where maybe one, and then next month you get another issue. Then there are some that, you know, it may be a few months. You know, that's crazy. Okay, but now we're going to get on to power expansions. This is my favorite part. This is where, you know, we kind of brainstorm and see what we can do with the characters, with the story and stuff like that. So there have actually been talks about a movie from this series for a long time. And there's even a video game called Battle Chasers Night War that's based on the characters. And it got, from what I understand, got good reviews. I haven't played it and haven't really done a whole lot of research on the video game, but it seemed pretty popular. I think the premise of it, I think the characters, the story, I think it would make a great movie. But I think we've also had a fair amount of epic movies with the similar nature. You know, like, and when I say that, I mean like the fantasy realm. Like, we can take the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings movies simply because if we did this, like if we did a movie on Battle Chasers, they would immediately be compared to Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. You know, whether you're a fan of it or not, and I know that they changed stuff from the books, and, you know, there's always pushback with that. You know, that's going to be a given. But if you look at the movies themselves, the movies set a benchmark. They set a bar for the fantasy realm type movies that really, I mean, since they've come out, has not really been met. You know, they set a standard. So everything is going to be compared to them until something that can hold a candle to them come up. I don't think that Battle Chasers is it. I don't. So what I'm proposing is an animated series. And with the basic premise of the story, because we can keep that going for a long, long time. Like we have the team getting together. We have the War Golem being the last of its kind. That mystical sword that Garrison has. The 4 enemies being released from Red Monica. You know, let's see here. We have Gully's father's disappearance. The magical gloves. You know, we have all those. They're all storylines within themselves. Not to mention them all doing stuff together, you know, just normal adventures. You know, so there's a lot of potential with this. But if we do it as a live action series, we're confined to things like CGI, potential physical limitations with the actors, and the thing that I hold on to the most is aging. And when I say aging, I mean, let's say we have the series, let's say we do a series, and it runs for, let's say, 4 years, okay? Because we have the War Golems, Gully's father, the mystical sword, Red Monica releasing 4 enemies. Let's say each season, each year is an enemy, okay? So let's just say 4 years to make it a nice, even, like, clean number. 4 years. You're going to have someone that comes in as Gully. That's probably going to be a little teenager, you know, younger, because you want them to be able to play that younger character, but also not have to worry about 4 years of physical development and maturity. That's going to be extremely difficult to do because this character is going to grow. Perfect example of this is if you look at the Game of Thrones series. You know, I think they ran for 8 seasons, and that one girl, oh gosh, I can't remember her name. Macy Williams, I think that's her name. She was the youngest Stark girl. she basically grew up for those 8 years. You know, looks not completely different, but she's grown a lot. She went from a girl to a woman during that 8 years. If we look at the Netflix series Lost in Space, between season 1 and I think they had 2 seasons total. So between season 1 and 2, Will Robinson grew a lot. He had some growth spurts going on. You know, there's a lot that can happen when you're dealing with younger kids. So I think animation is the best way to go. That way, you know, we can focus on the story. And I know what you guys are thinking, and like as far as CGI being not a big deal, but when your budget starts to go for CGI, you know, that can add up real quick. You can lose a lot of things in it. They cut corners to save on their budget. And if you're looking at something like a weekly series or just multiple long-term animated series or long-term series in general that uses CGI, that can add up real quick, and quality dives when that happens. So animation is what I'm thinking. When Battle Chasers came out, I wasn't really interested in it personally. It's mainly because I wasn't into the perceived sword and sorcery aspect of it. Looking back though, I can't be sure if I made the right decision. The reason I say that is because of the massive delays in the series as opposed to the characters themselves. Like, doing research for this, the characters seem really awesome. And out of all the expansions I've done, this one may have the most potential in it because there were so many individual storylines that just haven't gotten flushed out. So it leaves it open for people to tell creative stories. But I mean, I can't tell you how popular it was back in the day. And there's definitely enough here to start the train again and have it go for an ongoing animated series with an epic but slightly serious tone. Like, we gotta have some, you know, comedic basis. We gotta leave some areas open to keep people interested in. But man, there's so much open-endedness to this, where you wouldn't be compromising the original works because the original works left so much that hadn't been explored. So that's my take on it. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Let me know with a DM, or you can comment on any of my Instagram or Twitter or whatever. I do post superhero memes throughout the week on Instagram and Twitter. So give me a follow, whatever you want to do. I am completely open for it. If you have any requests, questions, comments, critiques, anything like that, let me know. My emails are open at b4itall@yahoo.com. Super deep dive on Twitter and Instagram, and if you're on YouTube, comment. My channel is Superhero Deep Dive. I look forward to hearing from you guys. I'm gonna head out for now. In the meantime, everyone be blessed, be happy, be safe, be smart, and if you're not smart, don't get caught. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.